It's recording now.
Welcome to Two Crazy Scoops Podcast with your hosts Ao and Tino and special guest Isaiah Campa. So this week we're going to talk to him about various topics, and we may just have another special guest pop in since we were really bad at piecing out what timing for these things.
Since you are very bad at piecing out.
I am very bad at timing these episodes.
I told you we were done. You didn't check your phone. Really quickly, Isaiah. As the guest, could you just tell us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? How do you know Antonio? And
not how you know me. Please don't say that.
Yes.
And, okay.
And explain to us why you agreed to do this, because we practically own you after.
Yeah. I'm actually, I haven't answered that myself yet, and I'm really starting to question it at this point.
You actually filled out a form too, didn't you?
Yeah, he filled out the form.
Which one was his?
I didn't take it very serious, but yeah.
It was very serious because at the bottom you signed, "I'm very serious about all these topics and we'll discuss them at length."
Exactly. Yeah.
I just remember asking if pants were optional. That's it.
Oh gosh.
They are.
This is a family-friendly podcast, my friend.
Well, it is.
I'm wearing a full suit right now.
Oh man.
I can't answer for Aaron though.
No,
God, no, please.
I have shorts.
Basketball
shorts.
Can't be too careful.
So anyway, Isaiah, where are you from? And
where'd you come from? Where'd you go?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Now that song's stuck in my head. So if I take a long time to answer a question, it's because that song's playing on a loop in the background of my mind.
Good.
But I'm from Tucson. Pretty boring. Well, not boring, but from here, from Tucson. Born and raised. How do I know Antonio? Just, life. I don't know.
I probably met you when I was like
18
or 17.
I don't know. I can't quite think to...
Like 2010, I think it was.
Yeah. And it just seems like I see you every once in a while. Just kind of like, oh, hey, there's Antonio.
Hey, it's me. I'm here to make dumb jokes at your expense.
You're here to make a mom joke right in front of my mom.
Oh, yes. Can I say that? Because one time I was making fun of these mom jokes a bunch of times. And the next day his mom walked up to me and she was like, "I heard you've been talking trash about me."
Nice.
I died inside that day.
Because I think she heard you and she was
No, you told her, Isaiah. You told her.
I did not. I did not. I would never, as someone who likes to make mom jokes, I would never. I would never besmirch the sanctity of the mom joke. I don't know.
What do you do for work? Are you even old enough to work? That's probably the first question.
Oh shoot. Yeah, I'm like, how old am I? Crap. 24?
Oh, okay.
25? Wait, am I 25? I don't know.
Who even knows what day it is anymore?
Do you know what year you were born?
1995.
And your social security number.
Yes. and I need the exact birthday.
And what are some common passwords you use?
And your mom's maiden name, please.
I knew that one was coming.
We can't talk about his mom, okay, Aaron? Stop it. Stop it.
She will find you.
She's going to pop it on the Zoom.
Totally. Just
I won't let her in, but she'll somehow appear on screen.
Yeah.
Break into the room.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that's great.
So, Isaiah, since I've known you, there's a couple things. Can I term you a hipster? Is that politically correct? Is this a PC term I can use?
It kind of hurts a little bit,
Everyone that I call a hipster says it hurts. Why does it hurt?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everyone has their own association of what a hipster is, and it's usually negative.
So, can I call you a trash bag? Is that okay? I really don't know.
That's actually, I identify more with that
than bag and trash. Well, let's say that it's the hipster term that's non-derogatory. That's someone who is into a lot of things that
you're like a pig, but like like a good looking pig, like
a good one, one that would win a contest, one of those.
Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead. Oh jeez.
Because I'd have to say the only reason I term you that is because a lot of the music that I like, that I listen to, and it's hard to find people that I would enjoy it per se.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of stuff I pass on to you.
Yeah, and which I really appreciate. Oh my goodness.
But I feel like we both have the kind of like the same. I don't want to. It's like eclectic taste.
I think the term you're looking for is pretentious.
Pretentious music. Yeah, like you can listen to it and you're like, no one else is going to listen to this because it's too great.
It's like, oh, these trash, they do not get the music that I like. Yeah. I don't remember what your question was.
Neither do I, man. I mean, we're just here.
Yeah.
Can I call you a hipster? Is that good or bad?
I mean, you can, yeah, I guess.
Would you term yourself a hipster?
I don't know. I don't know, because now I feel if I reject it, I seem like I'm high and mighty, like, oh, no, I would never touch such a phrase.
I would never sink to such depths.
I'm just like into whatever, man.
I have to look at
I'm just a person.
How about you deny it 3 times, and if a rooster crows, we'll know the truth.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds about right.
I think I'm going to have to cut that part out, Aaron. A little offended by the blasphemy.
I'm not offended. I'm just surprised that, whatever. You're doing the editing, whether you make it or not, whatever. I was actually Googling what hipster is so I can be on the same page as y'all because I don't know what a hipster is.
Oh, yeah, you should. Well, you should read it. I mean, I'm
curious.
Let's
look at the definition.
Actual definition.
A hipster is a person who follows the latest trends and fashions, especially those regarded as being outside.
That doesn't sound like a hipster to me. That's not.
Yeah, I shop exclusively at Goodwill, so I'm out.
That's actually pretty hipster.
What is the second definition?
No,
a hipster is
that's
also...
not because I'm trying to be hip. I'm just poor.
I think they're one and the same is what we're coming to.
Yeah,
I can look at
like I've seen the things where you have to tell like it. They have pictures of homeless people and hipsters side by side, and you have to tell which is which, and it's very difficult. So I guess so. I guess.
That's funny. Okay, well then maybe a hipster isn't a good term.
You want to hear what the Urban Dictionary says?
No?
Yeah. Is this not the audience for that? Okay.
Well, I do have a funny story about that, which I'll tell you later. So continue on.
According to the Urban Dictionary, hipsters are people that try too hard to be different and genuinely think that they're being different by rejecting anything they deem to be too popular. Ironically, so many other people also try too hard to be different that they all wind up being the exact same. So hipsters aren't actually different at all. They're just people that are snobbier and more annoying about their taste in alternative things.
Okay. We've heard enough.
Thanks for inviting me on your show to insult me, Antonio. I really appreciate this opportunity.
Oh, man. Oh,
it
gosh.
Gets better, but I'll stop.
Oh, man.
It gets better.
It does.
I don't know where I was going with this, Isaiah. I'm sorry. I guess all I was trying to say is you appreciate good music.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I'll have some very skillful editing for this one.
Can we add in the beep noise? I think it makes everything funnier.
The what?
Like the beep noise.
Oh, yes. That always makes it funnier.
It's comedy gold. Yeah.
So
which one is the beep noise?
Like the one, like whenever you're watching like Hell's Kitchen or something.
Like, it's whenever Gordon.
Oh, I know. We need one of those. We need to find one of those.
Yeah,
I'm going to find one and add that to the sound pad. I'm going to find that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So anyways, Isaiah, what are some bands that you enjoy listening to that you think the general public may not be interested in?
I don't even want to say now. I just...
Oh, you never told us what you did for work either, by the way.
Oh, that's true. Nothing right now.
Like the rest of us.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
I saw that you were working on some, you were refurbishing an old rocking chair?
Yeah, it's from about the 30s. But I went to school for woodworking and furniture making. So
are you
but
doing
that's not what I do for a living. I just
it's
do
just
it
an
on
interest?
the side. Yeah, just kind of an interest. I thought it would turn into work, but it's apparently really difficult to find work in these days.
Yeah. So what are you like restoring? Just what about the chairs?
Well, I'm completely taking it apart and fixing any cracks, sanding it, refinishing it, cleaning up the hardware, and then I got to reupholster it. So yeah.
How long does that usually take?
Man, it really depends on just the project and my apathy towards it. I don't know, or my lack of motivation. Yeah, I don't know. It could. I feel like if I really was trying at it, it could take maybe a week.
What got you into that?
Well, initially I wanted to go to school for something that I felt was like practical. So much for that, but I also wanted something that exercise was like sort of a creative outlet as well. And so that kind of checked both boxes. And yeah, I mean, when I said we could talk about anything, it's because I'm passionate about knowledge about anything, and I like to learn about a bunch of different skills, and just so it was just kind of one more thing that I wanted to learn and wanted to know how to do.
Well, it kind of helps you be a little more well-rounded, just like repairing things in general.
Yeah, I mean, it helps me feel better about myself as a hipster, like just like that much better than others,
By the way,
Isaiah Campa can restore your great-grandmother's rocking chair, so give him a call.
Hey, by the way, I just want to jump in real quickly. So Aaron is in the waiting room. All right, I'm gonna let him in. So he doesn't know what we've discussed so far. So,
and that's why when you deep fry spaghetti, you can apply that to most any wounds, and it'll heal it instantly.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. SpaghettiOs.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, it's Aaron.
Hey, Aaron. How's it going, man?
Dude, what's up?
Nothing much. How are you?
Good.
Oh,
go ahead. I think you know Isaiah already, right?
Yeah. How you doing?
We've met a few times. Good to see you, Aaron.
Good to see you too.
Very good.
So Aaron, we're gonna have you guys argue about who's better.
That's the theme of this episode.
And apparently, according to Antonio, I have a humongous ego. So.
Oh wait. Okay, so fun. Originally we had tried to do 2 separate episodes with you guys, but our first episode ran overtime. So instead of wasting everyone's time, we thought that we'd have you guys both on the same episode. And apparently, for the first 10 minutes of this, I've insulted Isaiah at least 50 times and his wife. What do you think of when you hear hipster, Aaron?
When I hear hipster?
Yeah. Like if you were to call someone hipster. Is that an offensive thing? Because I thought it was fine.
No, I think when someone's a hipster, they try to be different from everybody else. Either from their style of clothing, a statement of their music, a sense of style. It's a statement that they're different from everybody else.
But what if you're not trying? You just so happen to be different.
That's called...
we call dumb people journalists.
Oh, man.
They may seem to take everything very literal.
Jeez.
So we're going to do the hipster test with Isaiah right now. We're going to see if any of the bands that he names off you have recognized.
Okay.
Or you can recognize.
Geez.
Okay.
For this, I'm just going to scroll randomly through my phone.
Okay.
Actually, wait, no. Yeah, I'll do that. And just whatever I land on, we'll see. All right. So Waka Flocka Flame.
Oh, excuse me?
This is a PG-13 rated podcast. Thank you very much.
I'm just messing with you. Oh my goodness. Jeez. Oh man. All right. Let us see. The mountain goats. Know who they are?
Nope.
This isn't looking good for me. Iron and Wine.
Oh,
I mean that's a pretty common one. That's
I know
a pretty
them.
common one. Yeah.
But Aaron Lawton hasn't heard it, so you failed the test.
Yeah, I know.
No, but I bet you he's probably heard that one song, their biggest song. He's probably heard it. Yeah.
What song is it?
I don't remember. I just know everyone knows that one song. Everyone knows at least that one song.
Whining about iron.
Now I have to look it up because I can't remember. It's a slow song.
How about Diggable Planets? Y'all know who they are? No? Great. Great hip hop group from the 90s? No? Okay. Yeah. See, well, yeah. So, I mean, I guess that proves your point, Antonio. I suck.
I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. It's just if it quacks like a duck and it listens to music that ducks listen to.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
Oh, you know what? They did a cover of Such Great Heights that I used to like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I forgot about that. But that wasn't.
Have you heard of the Postal Service, Aaron?
Postal Service.
Yeah, I love Postal Service. Yeah.
So Iron and Wine is connected that way.
Yeah.
And there is similar, somewhat genre-wise. I mean, it's pretty hipster. Yeah.
So, Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do for work? And what are some funny work experiences that you have had? So you can go in any order you want.
Go in any order I want.
You should probably tell us where you're from, though. That probably would make the most sense.
Well, okay. Well, I'm originally from Boston. I lived there till I was about 15 years old. At that point, I moved to Tucson. So
you just teleported here.
Yeah.
Why Tucson? Of all places.
Tucson? Well, would you really want to hear the story?
Yeah.
Originally, it was my mother's best friend's idea. So my mother's friend was like, "Hey, why don't you come to Tucson with me and check out some houses, right?" So she's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll support you. I'll give you some help, you know." So of course, a dynamic duo, you know, we're checking out houses, and my mother was like, "This is some pretty cheap houses back here. I like this place, right?" So while she was helping her friend, she bought her house herself.
Nice.
Did she tell her plans to us? Nope. She flew back to Boston and told us we're moving to Arizona. So that's how I got here.
Wait, hold up. So she didn't tell her friend?
No, she told her friend.
Oh, okay.
So first, what she did was she helped her friend find a house. You know what I mean? And then with the same realtor, the realtor helped her find a house too as well.
Nice.
So you got two birds in one stone.
That's
and
smart.
that house was about not that far from my neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. So that's how, and she's still there today. So
that's funny too because
coming to Arizona is because of her friend.
Yeah, and in Boston, everything in the Northeast, everything is much more expensive.
Much more.
I can definitely see how someone from the Northeast would come out here and be like, "Oh, this is cheap housing," because it is compared to.
Exactly, it's about 3 times as much.
To
Arizona, definitely.
And you ain't got to deal with those crazy winters either.
No, I'm very satisfied being in Arizona.
Yeah.
I will never go back.
Right, exactly. I know that's right.
My days of struggling are over.
Yeah. So what do you do for work?
I'm a caregiver.
A caregiver. Okay.
This is my second year of caregiving.
That's actually what Isaiah wanted to do.
Oh yeah.
What do you know?
Yeah, I was thinking about going into it right before this whole thing started.
Oh yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Honestly, this is the perfect time to do it because they're still looking for essential workers.
Oh, nice.
Quit staying home. Ain't nobody come to work.
Right.
Yeah.
But I've been doing this this is my second year now. So
nice. You know, it's
That's
funny. When we talk about people's jobs on our podcast, one of the things we normally ask, and I don't know if this would be appropriate for you or not, but we usually ask about funny experiences on the job.
Funny experiences.
Yeah. Or what you enjoy about it if you want to be safe.
Or what you enjoy about it if you want to be safe. Because in your situation, I don't know if it's, I don't really understand what all you do.
Yeah.
We actually do have a large audience of the elderly, so they may be listening to this.
Right.
No.
Our demographic is from 65 up.
Yes. So, the people I work for, they're older people, but they have minds of children. You know?
Hey, could you move a little bit closer just so wait, can y'all hear him okay? Or is it?
Do you have like a microphone or headphones or something, like Apple headphones you can plug in or something like that?
I do have Apple headphones, yes. This?
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Am I low?
Huh? Yeah, the audio was a little bit low.
Okay. Is that better?
No.
It got infinitely worse.
Right. Hold up.
Can you bump up his microphone?
Huh?
Can you bump up his microphone or his audio?
Oh, I don't know. Can you? I don't know how to do that. No, I don't see an option for that. Okay, never mind. Can you hear
sign
us?
It to us.
Can you hear us okay? Okay, we can't hear a word you're saying. Never mind. Unplug the microphone.
Just unplug the microphone.
Unplug the headphone.
Hey, you guys just want to restart the episode?
Well, there you have it. Too crazy.
I'm just kidding.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. We'll
where was I?
There you go. You're clear now.
You sound better now. Yeah, you sound good.
Okay. All my guys, they're older people, but they have minds of children, you know? So I have a guy who I used to care for, that whenever he liked to mess around with people. So I'm like, hey, so-and-so, you know what I mean? I got your favorite dinner here. They're all great, cool, right? So, and then I would start feeding him the food, and he would stop and he would look at me, right? I'm like, what's the matter? What's wrong, right? And then he would just stop and look at me some more, and I'm like, something you need to tell me? You know what I mean? What's wrong with your food? And I'll go to grab his dish, right? And then he would spray his food from his mouth all over my face, my shirt. I'm like, dude, dog! And then he would just start bursting out laughing. Okay, bro. You got me. Yep, you got me. All right.
You are a good man for that job.
So-and-so number 1, Aaron 0.
You are a good man for that job.
So I got a second guy who hates getting out of bed. Who hates it, but you know, to help his skin integrity, he has to get out of bed, man. Right? So 8 o'clock rolls up, and I'm like, hey buddy, how's it going? He looks at me, the one eye open. He's like, aye! I'm like, oh yeah, it's time to get out of bed. No! Dude, he cracks me up. One of my favorite guys to work with. Yep. So being a caregiver for that facility and everything, it's been really cool. I get laughs every day working there. So
well, that's good.
What was it?
Because I don't think Aaron would be laughing. I look at him wrong, and he's like, just shuts off his camera.
Oh yes.
No, you do have to have a good. Your personality has to be fit for that job. I think.
Yeah,
you have to have a lot of patience.
Yep.
Obviously.
Yep.
And
And so, what did you think about that, Isaiah? Like knowing kind of what was entailed in that kind of a line of work.
Well, I mean, I really like it because, one thing I'm passionate about is sort of just people in general, and I'm sure Aaron would agree that like, even with like the being spit on and stuff, like seeing the joy that guy gets out of it kind of makes it like a little bit worth it, you know? Like, I don't know.
I mean, if you need any time practicing, I am happy to get a bowl of cereal.
No, dude, you need oatmeal. Oatmeal.
I've also always found it interesting. Oh gosh, with people like that, how they've like sort of maintained like that, like, or not maintained, but they've sort of either regressed to a certain point, but they have that thing that seems unique to children almost, that sort of wonder about the world, that the playfulness that people sort of lose along the way. Yeah. And I just think that's really cool. And I'm sure it, like you said, you get laughs every day, and I'm sure it's a fulfilling and enriching experience.
So how would you say, like, dealing with, there's customer service, obviously, which is a totally different ballgame. How would you say that's a little different than caregiving at this point? Because obviously, if one person's like screaming at you, yeah, they had a bad day, maybe they're dealing with something. But why do you think it's a little easier to think about someone who's elderly in that kind of a sense and kind of, understand them a little more?
So the difference between customer service and caregiving?
Yeah.
I can think of a few things.
Honestly, with customer service, normally it's something a person needs out of you or something you can provide for them, right? Let's say like they have a product that they want to buy or they want to return. Your job is to fulfill what their wants, right? Versus someone, as you're caring for, they don't have a choice. They need your help, you know? And in that case, you're helping someone in the aspect of the life make it better, you know what I mean? And make it more positive, you know what I mean? It's not like oftentimes a person can't buy a new pair of legs.
Yeah.
But if they have a good caregiver who can make them feel good about themselves and make them look forward to waking up every day, it makes a big difference compared to someone who needs a service and perhaps may not be able to get at give them that service. Then be angry at you, all kinds of words, and we all know how that goes.
Yeah.
Now you had a bad day. You can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah. So those people are probably a lot more appreciative, right?
They are appreciative.
Like the service you're providing, of course.
If it also shows they're not dumb. They can tell if they're wanted, and they can tell if they're cared for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you show them that you care for them, they're gonna reflect back off that too as well. You know what I mean?
Well, why do you think certain people are quick to dismiss them if someone needs help like that?
Oftentimes, being in the field for almost 2 years, you get some people that are caregivers who really don't care for them. You know what I mean? They're just there for the job and just there as a body. And I've had some tough conversations with her. I'm a manager, by the way, over at the Phillips. And then if the client doesn't feel comfortable with that person, and then you start asking client questions, and then you realize, oh wait, they're not feeding them one time, or they're not bringing them to the bathroom when they need to, then it becomes an issue of the person just not showing that they care. And I'll be honest, even if they don't care, at least do your job. Like, at least make them happy.
Right.
Yeah.
So getting paid for, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, but how how you talk to them and and what you do for them really shows how much they care, and they can feel it too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this one client I love. She's a woman, right? And every time a certain staff member walks inside the house, and she just stop and she'll stare at them, right? And I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she just shake her head. I'm like, "Well, what do you want?" She's like, "Take me to my room and lock me in there."
Wow.
I got you.
So what happened? Like, why is that her reaction?
Huh?
Why is that?
Apparently, she wanted. It's a series of events. I can't talk too much about it, but every time she asked for something of that staff, the staff member ignored her.
Got you. Okay. Got it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
and I don't mean to like bring it down to like a sad level, but something I've always thought about as to why I would have trouble getting into that line of work is because of like with the elderly, most of them are going to die eventually. So how do you deal with that when you find someone who you really like, and obviously you care for them, but you still have to deal with that reality? So to speak.
When that time comes, it comes. If you focus too much of the future, everybody knows it's gonna happen. You know what I mean? The job becomes really hard. I did have a client die on me, and honestly, I had to take a week off after that because of when you work with someone every day, 9 hours in a day at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't help but feel a certain way. You know what I mean? You can't help it. We're all human. You get in, and when you care for somebody, you naturally try to do the best for them. But watching them suffer, and then you know what I mean?
And I feel like taking like you having that job means that you have like a special connection to it, or have some sort of empathy invested in it.
You have
so
to.
It's got to be extra hard.
Because
of that.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, the company I work for, they have programs and they have people. You know what I mean? When that happens, that you can call to talk to and stuff like that too as well. So it's an option. So
well, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
No, they understand when you care for somebody and you care for their needs and you advocate for them, and then for them just to be gone, it's the effect it has on you is just devastating. You know what I mean? But it is a part of the job that comes with caregiving, but there's other like happy aspects of it too as well that comes with it, such as, you know what I mean, playing games with them, making jokes, you know what I mean, and just stuff like that.
Yeah. And what did you think, like, Isaiah, like when you were, I mean, obviously you knew that was going to be an inevitability as well. How do you kind of view that subject, I think?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That's one of the things I had, like, because I've been thinking about it for a while, but that was one thing that kind of held me back a little bit. And I'd mainly be working with people with mental health issues. The job that I had lined up before all this, it was mainly people with mental health problems. But I thought about stuff like that, or the problem of maybe getting a little too invested emotionally, which, but I also, on the other hand, like Aaron said, there's a lot of people out there who don't really care and who are doing that work. And I feel like, I mean, as long as I care and keep sort of a realistic attitude towards it, that maybe you're not going to be able to solve all of their problems or fix whatever suffering they're going through. As long as you're there as some sort of comfort or soothing to them, it's worth it. And I mean, I was hoping to figure out whether I could handle it, but I think as I mean, it seems like, Aaron, you feel like it's worth it to be there doing that.
For me, I know I'm a little different about this, but it is, especially if anybody who's a people person or cares for others, it's definitely a job that you can enjoy and actually feel good about doing too as well. So I remember I became a medical assistant about like 5-6 years ago, and I worked at a doctor's office. But even back then, like, I didn't feel like I was helping people because it was all a business. Anytime you go in the health field, especially in a doctor's office, first thing comes first is business. Insurance card. You ain't got a search. I'm sorry, the door's right there.
Wheel yourself out.
Got money. But in this case, as a caregiver, oftentimes the government's already helped them out financially. So all you have to do is just help them on what their needs and everything like that. So it's a completely different atmosphere than it was at the medical office.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this, Aaron. Have you ever done any interpreting before? Because you are also a sign language expert. You're very fluent in sign language. Have you ever done that before?
Yeah. I have done interpreting before. Very little.
And what would you say? I take it as that's not something you would want to do for work.
I did start that choice of career. But then once I realized how long the schooling was going to be, it kind of discouraged me a little bit.
It's like 4 years, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh, is it 4 years, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
even if you're already fluent?
It's not like that. I've looked into it, and I've talked to Anna a lot about it, and it's like I started a new job recently, and there was a deaf man who was there, and some lady who was also just starting out, she was interpreting for him, quote unquote. So she would say what he was trying to say and stuff like that. But then the actual interpreter showed up and she gave him a voice. And that in itself is very hard to do because he would make jokes and she would say it as if he was saying it. She would say, when are we going to go this or that? Instead of saying he's saying this, she was actually saying what he was saying and kind of condensing the ideas so that it was easily understood. It's a lot harder than I ever thought it would be.
So is it 4 years specifically for sign language? Is that what? Because I know interpreters who have not done very much schooling and they're interpreters.
Like for other languages?
For other languages.
Yeah, it's not the same as a sign language.
For other languages.
Years ago, as long as you had the experience and maybe the background of having deaf parents or deaf children, you were able to just become an interpreter. But through the years, there was issues of people not being completely clear when they're interpreting and misunderstood, and it became an issue. So now they made it mandatory for I think is it bachelor's or master's? I don't remember which one it was.
So I think it's a bachelor's degree.
Bachelor's, yeah. Where mandatory, you have to have a bachelor's before you can interpret. But obviously, those who had grandmother themselves as an interpreter through the years, they were able to get it without going to school.
Gotcha.
But I just got interested at the point when schooling just became a thing for interpreting. So I was like, yeah, maybe I can do it. You know what I mean? And I realized, I don't think I want to wait this long before I get a good job.
Right. Yeah.
So I quickly backed out of that after the first few months of trying to pursue it.
But have you done it on a personal level, like not necessarily for business, but have you interpreted for other people before, just in general, everyday life?
I've interpreted for friends. That's about it for friends.
Gotcha.
People that would go to the store. We would, you know what I mean? Just for friends.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna say it like this, but it was for fun. Whenever we're doing something fun, going to the store or going for the movies, they have this little caption thing that they can have where it's like goggles and a little stem that attaches to the cup holder, and the deaf can read the captions of the movie as they're watching it too as well. So it's really dope. Yeah, it's really cool. And I have had a buddy ask me to interpret a doctor's office, but I warned him several times, man. I'm like, dude, you realize I'm not an official interpreter. You should get an official. No, I want you. I was like, are you sure? Yeah. You're good enough. I was like, okay. If you get the surgery on the wrong knee, don't come with
Oh, man. Needless to say, no.
Please, you're no longer friends.
Oh man, yeah, because Anna, she does some interpreting for Spanish, like at doctors' offices.
Oh yeah,
and she's able to do that without any certification, really.
Yeah.
It was just a company that she signed up with because someone told her about it.
Oh, right on.
But even then, she has to look up certain medical terms and things like that.
Yes.
To keep up to date with that, and it's not the same as just speaking normal Spanish.
It's true.
But with sign language, like the concepts are, I could imagine, a lot harder to come across.
Medical sign language, yes.
You can't just sign cut off leg.
One of the cool things about sign language is that the translation is almost instantaneous, right? Compared to other languages, like it's almost at the same time as they're saying it, right? Am I right in saying that, or not really?
No, you're right. Often I tell people, like, when you're learning the language, you have to learn how to paint a picture. You know what I mean? And oftentimes, a word in sign language is not going to get your thought across. It's a picture of it. You know what I mean? So, it's hard to think of something off the top of my head at the moment. But when you're telling, what was it?
Have you had any funny stories as far as learning the language? Anything?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you a story. Okay, so I was at a gathering. You know what I mean? It's my first. I was like 6 months learning the language. Dude, I got this. I was so confident. I got the majority of the language down. I understand most of it. Anything I don't understand, I can just use the alphabet, dude. Like I got this, right? So I met this guy who's all the way from San Diego. I'm like, dude, cool, right on, right? So he's deaf love to talk about themselves. They know everything about yourself, right? So I started talking to myself, like, dude, I've been here for a couple of years, and I'm from Boston, and the guy's like, cool. So he went on to talk about his family, right? He talked about his mother, his father, his sister, his brother, right? And then afterwards, this dude made this like ridiculous expression on his face, right? And I thought it was funny. So like, I made a little chuckle. And then he's like, what's so funny? I was like, oh, sorry, your face. I was like, dude, like, I was talking about my mother dying. Like,
oh my God. Oh no.
I was like, oh, that's what that sign means? Well, I am so sorry. No. Oh, you know what? It's time for me to go. I think my boss is calling me.
Wow.
From what I've observed, though, a lot of individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing, they tend to have a very good sense of humor, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the
guy...
Not
this gentleman.
Oh, man.
Were you at least able to explain to him that you were learning and that you didn't understand?
You know, I did not explain it because I was so embarrassed.
Are you serious?
I'm awkward. Yes.
You just pieced out like.
And the nerves get the best of me. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt my face go flush. You know what I mean? And you know that what's that system in your body called? Fight or flight?
Mm-hmm.
I ran.
I'm glad you didn't fight, Aaron. I'm really glad you didn't. He starts swinging.
Right?
This guy laughed at my mom dying and then beat me up. Oh, man. Wow.
Man.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was funny because when I was starting that job, the place, they were saying that you can't wear any offensive clothes, so you can't have any slogans, offensive hats, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And the deaf man, he raised his hand, and through the interpreter, he said, why can't we? He's like, there's not any children working here. And the guy who was training us, he just whispered, he's like, well, you'd be surprised. It was super funny. But yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But that's why I thought that it was really interesting, because you got to be like really expressive and like super into it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I loved about the language, was just using my body and my face just to express yourself. It's one of the best things of the language, and I fell in love with that. And because I'm already very expressive and I talk with my hands a lot, it became really easy.
It's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Isaiah, do you speak any other languages?
I speak bits and pieces, not really anything fluently. I was trying to learn Navajo last year. It's still sort of an ongoing thing. I go up to the res every so often. And right now I'm kind of dipping my toes into Yaqui language. And so, yeah, I sort of dabble. And then the problem with me is I get distracted with something else I want to learn. And so, yeah, I'm a little all over the place when it comes to that.
No, that's cool. That's all right.
So both Aarons, you guys have learned a language like fluently. What suggestions would you give to us and like our audience, I guess, as to learning a language? And I hate when everyone says, have a good sense of humor about it because you're going to screw up.
Because that's exactly what I was about to say.
That's what everyone says. Tell me something different.
But it's true.
I have a great sense of humor. But when I'm like, when someone's coming at me and like talking to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to say. My brain is not working right now.
Well, okay, well, let me think of something. But I do have a funny story that I can tell quickly. But I have to think about that. Aaron, you want to answer it?
Yeah. The one thing is.
Tell me, Aaron.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta have a great sense of humor.
You gotta learn how to laugh. Oh man. But the one thing is, I realized when you're learning a language, like I didn't learn from books. I didn't learn, from watching videos, stuff like that. It was the people. The more you embed yourself in the culture and around the people, and you force yourself to understand people, that's what helped me learn the language. Because if it wasn't for the people, I never would have learned the language at all. So as long as you surround yourself with the culture and the way they think and with the language, and you just keep listening to it over and over and over again, it becomes so much easier to pick it up.
Then what did you do when you hit that wall, so to speak?
So when I remember, like, I was learning baby steps, you know what I mean? And I felt like I plateaued, you know what I mean? Like, I can't learn anymore. Get me out of this. I don't want to learn anymore. But as I had to fight those feelings and just work through it. And once after I did that, it was it felt pretty good to finally break that barrier, as you would say, of learning more vocabulary of the language. Yep.
And Aaron, the other Aaron, it's hard because I'm like, Aaron, what do you think about this? Hey, Aaron. Hey, other Aaron.
Well, I can tell by the question who you're talking to.
Also, because I have like this weird like disdain in my voice when I say Aaron.
Exactly. That's how I know who you're talking to.
Like, so Aaron, what do you? Oh, hey, Aaron, what do you think about this?
Right. Exactly. Kind of similar to what Aaron was saying. You know what? Just I think one of the biggest problems I think I had in the beginning is that I overthunk it. You just have to speak, even if you're going to make a mistake. Just talk, and then learn when they correct you. Ask to get corrected, and then just learn from that. So just go ahead and talk. Because some people will, like myself, for example, I would be like, say one word at a time. So ¿Cuántos años você tem? And I would question myself, and it'd be like, no, just say it. ¿Cuántos años você tem? How old are you? Just go ahead and say it, and then just be correct.
You mean like pickup lines? What the heck?
How do you say what's your sign, Aaron?
Oh my God.
Okay, all right. No, enough from you about language.
No, I do have a quick story. The best language story I probably can't tell on this podcast, but
you already told it.
Which one?
The one where you asked some guy if you could like go home with him or something.
No,
that's already been recorded. It's on a previous episode that we have not edited. So if you feel like you can't tell it, I'm sorry, it's out there.
No, that's not what I was thinking about. That's not what I was thinking about. But that is that's kind of funny too. Just to give them some context so they understand what I'm saying. They understood that story. when you ask to stay at someone's house, when you want to stay over someone's house, you have to ask the question, can I stay at your house? You can't say, can I stay with you? That's because the connotation is different. If you say, can I stay with you? You're asking, for a bit much more than just a bed to sleep in.
Wow.
So you have to be careful because it doesn't translate perfectly. That's what Antonio is talking about. But the other story that I thought was family friendlier, at least, was actually learning Spanish. And what's funny is, long story short, when in Spanish, when you're telling someone how old you are, you say the translation literally in English is, I have X amount of years. Like I have 20 years, I have 30 years. You're literally saying I have that many years. And so when I was learning Spanish in school, I was introducing myself to the class, and I said, "Mi nombre es Aaron, I think." And I said, "Yo tengo 20 años" at the time. But the word in Spanish for years is años. It's the N.
Yeah, años means something very different.
Yeah, años is which is what I said, means anus.
Yeah.
So I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, my name is Aaron, and I have 20 anuses." In case you were wondering. But just that one little sound changes the whole meaning.
The little squiggly over the end.
Yeah,
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
totally mess you up.
that was my Spanish, first semester Spanish.
Wow.
But yeah,
I don't know what to say.
No, but don't you hate that about languages, though? Sometimes the smallest little change can be...
Yeah, that's like in Chinese, the word ma, depending on how you, where you place the emphasis, and if you inflect upwards, it could mean either mother or horse. So you could be you could be referring to somebody's mother and inadvertently call them a horse.
That's a great mistake to make.
My goodness.
Pretty wonderful.
Yeah, my whole thing is just when people start talking to me fast, it's hard. I never learned ASL, but I do know some signs. And the thing I enjoyed about it, though, is that the people that I knew who were deaf always helped me figure out the signs. And that helped me retain it a lot better. And I could express myself. And they kind of got it. It was weird, but it's like I got them and they got me. But it's all like in your head. It's like some weird like mind reading language.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're not saying anything, but you're getting the concept. You're getting the idea. You're getting the thought. You're getting the feeling, which is exactly what you're doing with language. It's just you're used to using your ears in the middle of all that and not just like straight to your brain.
Right. Yeah. Well, one thing I have learned too is to sympathize with people who are learning English. I don't laugh at. Not that I ever really.
Oh yeah, especially people who are bilingual and mispronounce things.
Yes.
Like I used to think like, how could you say it like that? That sounds so dumb. They come to church, like learn that name in Spanish actually sounds like that, and that's why they're reading it or saying it that way.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, I'm the ignorant idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I sympathize a lot more with people.
But I do think everyone should learn a couple of signs, at least the alphabet in sign language. It'll help you out a lot.
Yeah.
Especially just talking, because I always think that if you speak another language, you can always find someone who speaks to you. But with sign language, I feel like your world is a little more condensed. And if you can add yourself to that by learning it, it would be, it's kind of a new way to get another perspective on life from people.
I call it cultural awareness.
Awareness. Oh, we're aware. Oh my gosh.
Hey, something I found out too is that me and Aaron actually have the same sign name. Someone deaf actually gave me a sign name before because my cousin was in sign language for years.
Oh, wow.
And so actually gave me a sign name. And when I met Aaron, I found out that we have the exact same sign name.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
What, is this it?
No, it's like this. Like this.
I know, right? Exactly.
This is some great podcasting here. Everyone's totally
yeah, let's describe other things no one can see.
Exactly.
Well, we can put up clips on Instagram, so we'll probably put a little clip of that part.
Okay.
Sounds great. Oh man.
And we'll just like edit it so it makes it look like Isaiah is actually calling everyone's mom a horse.
Nice. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm slightly worried that this whole thing is just a plot to get like random words extracted from me so you could mash it up into something horrible.
Yeah, we're building like an AI robot who's a hipster, by the way.
Right.
And he's just gonna talk about iron and wine all the time, nothing else.
Perfect.
I was using alternate currents before it was cool.
Was it ever cool?
Are these microchips locally sourced?
Jeez. You see, the lingo. You just absorb it. Admit it. Just be happy. Be proud of it. This is hipster awareness also.
Okay. Wow.
Embrace it.
I'll make a ribbon. We'll
ribbons. Yes.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even know what the ribbon would look like. It'd be made out of hay or something.
Yeah. Be some hemp twine.
That's exactly what I was thinking, but I wasn't going to say it. But it first.
Oh, man. Well, I think we're coming up to the end of our podcast. But I do want to thank both of you guys for being a part of it.
Oh, thank you for the invite.
Actually, I'm actually happy that we had both you and Isaiah on the same episode, considering I didn't realize you guys had the caretaking thing kind of similar.
Oh.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm, glad to talk about it.
Yeah, it's really cool. It was nice to hear about that stuff from you.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to apologize to Isaiah for making him look like a terrible person. But I will tell everyone that being a hipster is okay.
No, it's okay. No, I'm legitimately a terrible person.
He takes out his French press midstream.
Oh gosh.
Well, okay, this is where I close it out, and I got to do the voice. You weren't here for the beginning of it, Aaron. Have you listened to any of the podcasts, Aaron Lawton?
On the first 2 episodes.
And then he lost interest. Oh,
I got distracted.
We lost
the first
him.
2 were probably the most difficult to listen to.
But the most entertaining.
I remember there was one where you guys were just talking about like depressing stories. And I think that was the first one I listened to.
Oh.
And I was like, geez, man.
Wait,
you know what's funny about that?
Which one was that one?
So that is the one that we recorded. It was like our second episode that we did 2 years before we actually started doing the podcast regularly.
Wait, which episode was that?
It was the one where you crashed some guy's car on the Brooklyn Bridge.
Oh,
yes. And I was like, I felt so bad for you. And I was like, man, I don't know.
Yeah, we recorded that in a hotel room
but
in Corona, California.
Yeah.
Foretold all of this.
Yes. And like I edited the audio in a Red Robin.
Oh, wow. But it was like the first one I heard and I was like, oh man, so it's just like depressing stories, like really sad stuff?
I know.
And I was like,
no, it's
man,
usually happy.
I got this in the bag. Man, I got this.
Well, we'll have you back if you want to share some depressing stories for the next podcast.
All right, I'll cry and talk about my childhood and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, if you want to do that, you're gonna have to start paying us. I charge like $50 an hour to listen to that crap. There was like a Seinfeld thing where he was like, I wonder, like, at what point was he saying, like, there's a price. I don't want to hear your problems, but at a certain price, I'll start listening to your problems. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh, man.
This has been Two Crazy Scoots Podcast with your hosts, Ao and Tino, and special guest Isaiah Campa and the other Aaron Lawton. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll see you next time. Have a great, safe, enduring time.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
And may God have mercy on your soul.